Good morning, ladies. I realize it's not Wednesday morning. It's Saturday morning. What am I doing here on a Saturday morning? Hey, so I have a card that I want to do. It's just one that I want to share. And it's one that I did for the swap for the incentive trip. The incentive trip is a trip that you can earn with Stampin' Up. And you have to have so many points in order to earn it. Well, last year I earned the incentive trip and I spent a week in Norway and a week in London, and it was an amazing time. I had so much fun and saw so many things and did so many things I never would have done had it not been for Stampin' Up. Only less than 1% of all demonstrators earn the incentive trip. So it's quite an honor to earn it. And it's quite a trip to be on. And so today I want to show you the card. So we have a swap that we do when we're on, or you can participate in, on the incentive trip. And so today I want to show you what I did for my swap, because it's also one of the cards that was in the Daisies, Cheerful Daisies kit that I gave away last month when you placed a $50 order. So I'm going to show you how I made this card, and I know that'll help some of the girls that got the kit, and it's fun to see what I did for the incentive trip. So I'm going to turn you down and we're going to get started. So I've already done all the die cutting, and I will place all those measurements on, oh, where's my little switch here, on my blog. So I will get those on there in a little while, a little later. So let me just make sure that you're able to see and everything is straight. So let me just give me a minute here to just hop on Facebook and make sure everything's working as it should be. Not popping up yet. Let's see, let's just refresh. And get back in here. Okay, and go there, and hopefully it's working. It is working. So let's get this straight first of all and move it over so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, so this is the card that I made. Whoops, just this part. This is the card that I made. And so it opens up and there's another card inside. I thought I should have glued those two together, probably. You could do it, you could not do it. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not. But then it opened inside. So this is not designer series paper. This is paper that I stamped, and I'm going to start with that and show you how I did it. Let me grab the stamp pad. Seem to have misplaced my stamp pad for that. Of course, that was the only one I didn't grab. I got the other ones. I do hope I have one. Boho Blue is a new ink color, and so that's what I used for that. And I used my smaller, and I'm using Cheerful Daisies. I'm going to do it exactly like I did it. So I'm using Cheerful Daisies, and this stamp comes with a set of coordinating dies. So that's what we're going to use. So to start with, I took my small flower. That was a fill. So this is the fill flower, right? Yes. And just started stamping on the piece that's going to go on the inside of the card. So, which is this piece of basic white. I just kind of laid it out here so I wouldn't get myself mixed up. I'm not sure that's going to work or not, but okay. So I just started with this and just want to make sure that we're clean and good to go. And I'm just going to stamp all around the edges. Full strength. And you can stamp off the edge, you can stamp in further. It doesn't matter, you just want that. And I know it's gonna look really dark when you do it, but it will lighten. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna have to straddle this one, so let's move that one in, and we'll do this one out here. And I think that'll cover it. So I don't want every bit of it covered. I just want to be sure that it's got some back there, so that when I put this piece on, that it will still show, but not too much. Okay, now the next piece I'm going to do is the inside of this card, which is this piece, and this has the flower stamped on it. So let's set that aside and let it dry, and I'll do this one. And so I started with my outline for the large flower, which is right here. I'm going to set this aside. And I started with the outline. And I'm using crushed curry. You could use Daffodil Delight. You could use a lot of different colors. You could use a pink or a blue, and that would give it the look of a chrysanthemum. Is that what I want to say? So you could do a lot of different things in there. And I'm just going to stamp it like that. And then I am going to stamp on a piece of Post-it note, because I want to create a mask for my leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim just the area where my leaves are going to be, just so that when I stamp those, they will. And on this, if you want to err towards the inside and cut off the line, that's a better way to do it than to leave an edge. Don't leave any edge at all. So I'm going to go there, and that's going to take care of that side. And then I'm going to come down. I think I'll do one more just to be sure. Whoops, stuck to my finger. Just to make sure that I have all that I need. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here because I'm going to put a leaf down here, and I'm just going to trim out a little bit here. Let's cut all this excess off here. And you want a paper that's thin so that when you do this, it will not leave a space between your image and your stamp, what you're stamping. Okay, so that gives us our mask. I think I want to go a little bit more around here, just in case, because I'm not sure where that leaf is going to end up. And a little bit more on here. By the time I'm done, I'll have the whole thing cut out, right? Okay, stop there. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so I'm going to now cover this with this mask that I created as soon as I find the right stamps, the right. Tell me I did it wrong. There we're going. Okay, so I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to take my old olive, and I have a leaf stamp, and I'm going to stamp that. So just by holding it over it, that should do it. It almost looks like it doesn't want to line up at all, huh? Am I going for the wrong? I'm going for the wrong one, that's why. Okay, make sure you have the right petals, okay? And then I'm just going to stamp right in here. And then right there. And then I'm going to come down here. My old olive has been re-inked, so it's real dark. And I'm just going to go, I should have cut up a little higher on this one, because my leaf might look squared. Not bad, it's okay. Okay, nobody else would know that but me and you. And half the world that watches this, no. Okay. We're going to set that aside for now. We're going to stamp the inside of this flower. And to do that, I need the stamp that is the fill stamp. And I'm going to use the crushed curry. But this time I'm going to stamp off. So I have my little pile here that I've been stamping off, and I'm just going to line that up, finding the right petals, and stamp that. Now, the inside is always a challenge for me because I'm not sure which way this thing is supposed to go. I think I stamped it upside down earlier. So we're just going to, and once again, I'm using the crushed curry, and that looks great. Okay, so that's the inside of my card. This is going to go on the inside of the 10-inch piece. This is 10 inches by 3 1/4, and this is going to go on the inside of that. This is not the card base. So this is kind of like a card in a card. That's what I would call it. Okay, and then on the front, I have embossed the same size piece to go on the front, and that is going to be embossed with, I did it with stripes and splatters. I did it with the stripes from there. I like both of them. It would work with either one. It would work with so many different ones. It really wouldn't matter. It just adds a little something to it. I was going to leave it off and decided that it really needed it. Okay, so then let's go back to our card base. We'll set this aside and we'll go back to our card base. When I cut this, it was kind of funny because I cut it and I thought, oh, those are the wrong measurements. But they weren't. They were the right measurements because it's a card with a flap. So let's start out with, this is going to get attached to the front of this card. I need to look at my card and make sure that that's what I did. Oh no, there's a piece of white. Oh, is that where the other piece of white? I cut 2 pieces of white. That's where it is. So my instructions were correct. Okay, I thought I had made a mistake on my instructions. So this is the 2023 through 25 in color packet. It has polka dots and stripes. It has 2 other patterns. And it's really pretty. It has the designs for all the in colors, the 5 new colors. So I'm just going to attach that to the white and attach that to my card front. I think I've cut my card front a little long on this one. This one seems long. It seems like it should be 8. Let me just check here. It should be 8. Or it should be 8 1/4, and I didn't cut off my 1/4 inch. Let's see if I can remove that. Grab my trimmer. I left it at 8 1/2. Sorry about that, guys. So yours, if you're cutting it, cut it at 8 1/4. So I'm just going to cut off a 1/4 inch. That's all it needed. Now it'll fit much nicer. Okay, let's see if our glue will hold. So it's just a 1/16 of an inch difference. So it's that little teeny tiny edge. I know I should have cut it a little more. Okay, then we're going to attach this that we stamped to the inside of the card. Just like that. I'm going to pull up Facebook so I can see if you guys have any comments or any questions. And that's going to go on the inside of the card. And then, so give me a second here because it may have a volume. I usually have the volume turned off on my, good, it is off, on my computer because I either have my headphones on or I don't want it to blare. So, okay, nobody's on here with me. It's Saturday morning. Oh, there is somebody on here with me. Okay, so then let's add, this is the front and this is the inside. So this is the card in a card. So this is going to go right in here. I'm going to put green glue on it. And when you put this in, you want to make sure that it goes all the way to the top, but you also want to make sure that you can close your card. So just like that. And now I have my inside of my card here. You want to make sure it's straight. And there we go. Okay, now let's finish off the front. So on the front, you'll have 2 flowers. So you should have, if you did a kit, you should have this piece that you have cut out of white. You're going to stamp your flowers. So you're going to stamp 1 in crushed curry, the large one, and then you're going to stamp 2 of the smaller ones in the crushed curry. I think I need to re-ink my crushed curry. It looks pretty light. Okay, and then you're going to do the fill. So I'm going to move these out of the way and just fill this in. Let's find those petals. Make sure you line it up. So when I line it up, I'll look here, look there, just kind of around the edges, just to be sure that it's lined up correctly. And make sure that I'm using the right direction. That's important too. So you can look at it and say, okay, these are short petals, those are long. So that's where that's gonna go, but then I need to get it on the flower. Whoops, and I didn't stamp off on that. Okay, we got one a little darker, that's okay. And there we go. So those are our flowers, and through the magic of TV, mine are already done and die cut. So I have my flowers cut here, and I'm ready to start assembling this one. So before I do that, I want to set that aside. I want to figure out where my leaves are going to go on here. So I'm just going to kind of get an idea, because I'm going to stamp them and then I'm going to add the flowers. So let's get my pad here and my leaf. Which one is my leaf? This one. Okay, and I'm just going to move this out of the way, just knowing it's going to go like here and here. And then if I put that back up there, this one's going to go off the edge. This one's going to come down here. Whoops, let's turn the leaf around the right way. And it's going to come down here. And I'll kind of gauge my flowers where they're going to go according to my leaves. So I'm going to put my flowers on with dimensionals. Grab some of those out of my drawer here. This one's getting pretty low. And I'm just going to pop them up. Now, you could actually put a ribbon on here. And you just want to make sure that you don't put your dimensional so it's going off the edge, for one. And you want to make sure that you can put it over top of your other flower. So this one's pretty close to the center. I think that one needs to be off-centered a little bit down towards the bottom, so I can kind of tuck it up and not worry about my flowers being too low. But I also want to keep in mind that I'm going to come across and put this in here. So, and this is the greeting, and it's die cut from the die that comes in the set. So it's this nice little die here that comes with the set. And so it's die cut from that. This is interesting. Hi, Polly. And so I'm going to stamp my green. I stamped mine, and I think I used a different green when I did this one, but I like the mossy meadow with the blue and with the, so the instructions, the old olive. The instructions will give you old olive. You can use any green you want. So when I do my word stamps, I love to put them on these great big blocks, because it means that they I'm going to have better balance on them. So that is the reason that I put them on the big blocks, is because it gives me better balance when I'm stamping. So I don't end up with one end a different color than the other, or a different intensity. I guess that's the word I want. Okay, so let me get my old olive here. And I'm going to ink my pad, my stamp. Ooh, I'm not sure. So I always like to test, just because sometimes when you ink, it's not quite there. There we go. Okay. And there we are. Okay, so this is going to go on the little blue, the boho blue. Just like that. It's easier to put it on before you put your flowers on, but for some reason I did it backwards today. Okay, and then this actually I'm going to put adhesive on this end, on the left, on the back it would be on the left end, and I'm going to put a dimensional right here. And I'm putting it there because I don't want to put it on here and then find out that it's in the wrong place. I am going to line this up so that it overlaps a little bit. Hangs over, that's okay. I have the card, as long as it's within my card parameters, then it should be okay. All right, the last step is putting this on here. And I'm going to put adhesive on glue, liquid glue on here. You could use tear and tape. You want something strong. So I'm just gonna go right here and line it up. So what I'm doing is I'm using this as my guide to line it up. And then I need some bling, don't I? Let's see, there are two blings that I really am liking lately. And let me see if I put them away or if I have them out here open. Well, here's one of them. This is the Tinsel Gems number 4. There's a Tinsel Gems number 3 too. I think that one's going to have what I want. Maybe here. Yes. So I'm out of the in color 2023 through 25 in colors, but these are the Tinsel Gems, and they have a green, kind of a pinky purple, fresh freesia is almost what it looks like, and then a blue. And so there's 3 different ones. There's one that has 4 and they have different colors. But these are the gems that I'm going to put on mine, just because I don't have any more of the in color ones. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and just pull those off of there. And I'm going to put one up here and one down here. And of course it always has to be 3 or 5 or 7. So I guess my next one will go, I really don't want to put it there. Let's put it right here. I have room there. I stamped a little high. That's too close to the other one, isn't it? Okay, it's sticking to me. No, that's not good. We're going to just go right in here. Let's go down. So we want a triangle, but we don't want an exact triangle. Okay, so there it is. Now, I was saying you could add some ribbon to that. Let's see. Maybe this. This is actually Misty Moonlight. I think that might be too dark. I wish we had a white, but we don't. So, we'll just leave it like it is. Okay, so this is the card, and like I said, you could glue that to that if you wanted to. You could put something here. You could add a little flower in there, or you could not emboss it, and you could stamp a greeting there, and then write your note in here. So thank you for joining me this morning, and I'll put all these measurements on my blog. My husband and son just left. I already have them all typed up, so I should have no problem getting them on right away. Thanks so much, and I will see you again soon because I have something else I want to show you. Some new product that's coming out. So I might be back on here this afternoon or tomorrow. Thanks, and you guys have a great day. Stay cool. It's going to be 108 here in Sacramento today. So I'm staying indoors. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. You'll find the instructions at stampwithdeb.com.